much trouble. Welcome to the UK. Welcome back to London.
Yeah. Good to see you again. Good to see you again.
Happy to be back.
Always.
Okay, so we were just talking minutes ago about the first time we met, and I was in a pub somewhere in central London, and we were talking about music, and we were talking about emotions. And I think you had quite a lot over the past 2 years. So what has been, emotionally speaking, the highlight of this magic 2 years for you?
Oh, you're not allowed to say we were also just speaking about sex? We can't tell them that.
The emotion of it.
It's been emotional today. It's been emotional today. Just when you're starting to think about, even watching you come in and the journey for the last 2 years to now, and what we're sort of in front of here for the next 6 weeks. We've kind of had the fortune of talking a lot about a lot of different things that have come up over the last couple of years today with various different interviews and things. One of the biggest things for me is just how we're never going to be able to say this again. I mean, we're on the cusp of, almost on the eve of being able to pick back up with The Who, but on their return, to the UK and do all of that with them, the UK darlings, as well as Glastonbury, and then ending up with the Rolling Stones, on this 6-week trip. It's a tremendous way for us to sort of return to the UK, and it's that in and of itself is, you're never going to be able to say that again. And so it's been kind of just emotional for me, because I'm thinking about it. I just want to make sure to be present and soak it all in, and try to make sure to cherish it and give back to, shine that light back, so to speak, to all the people that are also so excited for us, and that are coming out, the UK troublemakers and everything like that. And I'm sure everybody else has their own individual kind of thing. There's lots of
It's been great. It's been 2 years of learning to travel in the right way and seeing new people everywhere, and I don't know, it's the traveling circus.
What's the right way to travel then?
What's the right? Well, you slim down your bags a lot less than 2 years ago. I had a lot more stuff with me, and you want to buy things everywhere, so you think you can carry home, but now you kind of keep it a little slimmer. Except Ty, maybe he buys 7 new hats every.
How many suitcases do you have on this trip?
The same as everyone, 2.
How many will you come back with?
I'll come back with 2.
We might ship something home along the way.
Yeah, it seemed like we had I felt like I'd learned how to travel. As far as what he's talking about, I felt like I had learned how to size it down. But for some reason, heading into this trip, I don't know, I just wanted to just make sure I was ready for everything. So I brought a little more than I'd kind of learned how to pack for. Also, in learning to travel, I think we left so many places, and like Rick was saying earlier, you want to be in every moment while you're there. So I think one of the things you learned about traveling is to take in the culture while you're there. It's easy when you're a band to live by the nightlife and to hang out late, and so then you sleep and you miss the days where you've been. So I think what we've learned is how to take in more of the culture, and to go see some of the things, and go to the record stores, and go to the museums, and meet the people, and find out, why the accents are different from place to place. Find out about why people live where they live. Find out about why the food is different in that place. It'd be nice to have people and faces to associate with each place rather than just a geographic location. So it's just kind of digging in deeper to the places that we have the fortune to be. A lot of people never get to travel.
You've been traveling a lot.
We travel more than we're home. Last time we were home was just a couple days ago, and it was for about 24 hours. And leaving home this time, it really hit us, not just individually. I got to see it in other people. Richard was picked up from the airport, and then just in talking to the people that come to get each of us, you're just kind of like, wow, I miss you. Like, we're starting to miss not just the people that we know through ourselves, but the people that we know through each other as well. And it's just starting to feel very foreign. And knock on wood, because I would not change a thing, because we love doing what we do, and we love that it's sped up to a point that doesn't allow us to be home. But we talk so much about how great it is away from home. Home is really good too. We have a lot of people that love us there, that are very patient with us, and that have basically changed a lot of what they do in their everyday lives to have us be out here. And I'm very fortunate. We're all very fortunate to have that in our lives.
Totally.
Parlay, the travel, back to your original question, the emotion of the last couple of years, we've traveled a lot in that time, but we've emotionally traveled so much too. When we first met you, it was right around the time that we first came to the UK, and then we had a nice 100-day stint where we traveled from, small clubs to opening for Brian May and into the arenas with Bon Jovi, and that was that whole time, right after we had met you. And then, we've done quite a bit since then, and now we're back in the UK, although we've been back a couple times since. So to travel from that time to now and to put some emotion on it, the UK is such a special place for us because a lot of stuff has happened for us here, and anytime we come back, it's always sort of an emotional thing. But now to come back, almost 2 years later, and as Rick was talking about, being able to open for The Who and the Rolling Stones, that's an emotional journey right there the last couple of years. And again, being here in the UK, the second we land here, it's an emotional thing because so many great things have happened, and we've met so many great people here as well.
You can't help but sort of get caught up in the emotional fire that was online and that's been getting thrown at us from everybody that was there in the very beginning. That's like, oh my God, I just even thinking about it, talking about it, I can't wait to sort of get up in there and mix it up with everybody. It's going to be a whole emotional 6 weeks, so it's going to be great.
One thing that really struck me about you guys is, from the beginning, is the hard work you always put into it, and you seem to enjoy it. I mean, not hard work in, the sense of actually making an effort. You were making an effort, but you want to enjoy it at the same time. And when you first came to the UK, you were playing any venue that would let you play. If you were here for a week, you would play every night, wherever they would let you play. Do you feel, since you've been going so far, so quick at the end of the day, do you feel part of this is due to this hard work you've been putting into it?
I think, it was kind of a mantra of ours in Los Angeles that we sort of brought with us here, which was basically saying yes to everything. I don't. There's a lot of things we can almost trace back, and we've had fun almost thinking back on specific decisions that we made to say yes to there that led to this, that led to this, that led to this, that led to this, that led to this. If it wasn't for that original sort of attitude and mantra, who knows where you'd be. So without a doubt, I think. And the other thing was we enjoyed it. It was something we loved playing in the lobby at the Britannia at 5 in the morning. We loved acoustically for everybody after a show that we already played until 1 or 2 in the morning. So yeah,
We're still saying yes to pretty much,
a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean,
We
now
can.
it's just like now the places just got larger because there's a lot more people, but I mean, if we could, probably still play the small places, but it got a little bigger now, everything is the project, everything around it is kind of growing, which is really cool. It's a experience of its own, we run our own company, a record label, and all of it, it's all in-house, we do it on our own, so it's a lot of work, and it's fun to see it grow in the way it has in the last couple of years.
Yeah, also when we did that, when we were here during the same period you're talking about, we started with the Jules Holland show, and a documentarian started following us around, and we had no idea that the trajectory that was going to happen in the 100 days that he was following us was going to occur. And so so this documentary is going to come out, and it's called 80 Shows in 100 Days. And besides it just being something that talks about that period that you're talking about, it does say something about the hard work you put in. And what we really love about it is that along with just being entertaining, I hope it's going to inspire people to not give up and to put in the work, because when you do put in the work, you can have something like that happen. And you get so many bad statistics. Like people say things like, 1 out of 1 million people that go to the music business are going to become, like, yes, but those are things that discourage people. What about showing somebody something can happen? Like you can do something, and I hope it lets people know that this can happen in 100 days if you make it happen. So we hope that it ends up being something inspiring, because they will see all that work you were talking about, because probably more of it than we wanted to see, because there were probably some moments that we were tired from doing all that work and whatever, but it's a good thing to see, and that's coming out this summer.
we still have been really lucky. You know, we've been at the right place at the right time and many times, and that probably comes out of saying yes to a lot of things that we.
But
Creative-
it's easier being in
creative.
the right place at the right time. If you're in a lot of places and a lot of
Right,
times,
you're-
then
Yeah.
if you just point on one horse, you know. A
Yeah,
lot of
that's-
people, I think, nowadays think that you just go to a reality show and you get picked and
Yeah,
you go on. When
yeah.
you don't get picked, you go back home.
Mm.
It's
But
funny, there's something in Rolling Stone, there's an article, a quote by like maybe Aristotle or something that translates to, if you're everywhere, you get nowhere, and if you're somewhere, you get everywhere.
Mm.
You know, which is, and so weird. I just read that on a plane, it's exactly what you're saying. Like, you know,
We're putting, I guess, putting ourselves out there, but with specific intent, you know, and a collective intent. So,
I remember after the Electric Ballroom, you were still not tired and you were playing another gig at the
Blues Kitchen.
Blues
Yeah.
Kitchen.
So can we open some improvisation like that after one of the Who gigs or something like that?
Absolutely, we already booked a lot of the shows on this tour. We actually doing shows right after the same night after the Who. We go into clubs. We doing one in Newcastle at the Northumbria University right after the Who show.
Is there one coming up in Ireland? Or no?
Maybe. But I mean, we do hope that even like you're talking about, that something spontaneous. I mean, maybe there'll be one show after we played that second show that we just feel inspired and are going to play in someone's house. So we do hope to have those spontaneous moments like you're talking about.
Totally.
Yes.
Yeah, some of them spontaneously combust naturally, so you never know what's around the corner.
Okay, my birthday's in July. If you ever don't know, if you don't know where to fly.
We're looking for an
It's open.
occasion,
Careful what you wish for.
proper occasion.
July what is your birthday? What's the
It's
day?
on the 21st. I think it's a weekend as well.
Oh, I think we're gone.
We'll
We'll be back
yeah,
to-
we're
it's
leaving the
probably better. We can
14th.
do it early.
We'll do an early, we'll do an early celebration.
So, guys, apart from the live stuff, when are we gonna see a new album? Because the Bomb Shelter Session has been out a while now.
Mhm.
Well, we have the Bombshell Sessions is out now with it called Encore Edition with 2 new songs on it called Pelvis Pusher and Run Like the River. That's like 2 new tastemakers from the new album. We actually have recorded a whole new second album. The reason to not release it all now, I think, is we have the opportunity to now reach a whole new audience with the Who and the Stones, the people who have no idea who Vintage Trouble is. And we kind of still want to represent with our first album, and there's a lot of people who never heard the record. And I think we, doing a good thing of holding on a little bit to the first album for a while and still make sure that people hear it. So that's why we released this new single, Pelvis Pusher.
Or an opportunity for people that maybe we'd come across their radar early on, an opportunity for people to kind of take another look now, especially with the profile of the Who and Stones as he was referring to. But the other records recorded, and there's all new kinds of things coming out. And like Ty mentioned, the documentary is coming out. That should be done literally in the next 2 weeks, and that we're going to sort of have that here, as well as on it is another full live. It's a full live DVD concert of basically the end of that 100 days, which was in Glasgow. We had our first night with a crowd, approaching the size of 1,000, kind of where we had moved out of that sort of 300, 400, 500 seater into the next level, and people, everybody singing our songs in Glasgow, and just the emotion of that night and that moment. The whole entire concert was caught on film, and a great thing. We didn't even know it was going to be that way, and so that's part of that double DVD set. We're going to be working on a live record because we've been recording shows now for a year and a half. Recording as many shows as we can. So we've got a collection all over the world of stuff we just need the time to sift through, and to release the live record. And on top of that, we just did recordings with Booker T and with Beth Hart. You want to talk about Booker T?
We just did a recording with Booker T with him and a collaboration of a lot of artists, and it's called Sound the Alarm. It's coming out in June. Well, it is June 25th. We went to the studio and recorded a song live with him, which was a real honor for us. He he's picked back up with Stax again, and Stax was such a great, era in music. It's, a lot of our heroes. So to be able to play with Booker T and to write with him was, that's incredible for us. So we have that coming out. As Rick mentioned, we have the Beth Hart thing. Also, our record was released in the UK, like 2 years ago, and roughly, and we didn't release it for a year later, or a little bit more than that, in the US. So the UK got it first, and then the US got it way later. And then there were other markets like Japan, for example. And in each of these markets, there's some additional tracks which you can't find. So there's roughly at least another half a record or more out there of new material. We're basically waiting for these markets to kind of all catch up, and then we can kind of release all simultaneously in one fell swoop. But as Rick was saying, the record still has some legs to it. So we're really in front of a lot of new people, especially opening with The Who. It really gives us those opportunities.
Okay. Are we going to see Mick Jagger joining you on stage for Travis Pusher at any time?
Yeah, at the Hyde Park.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's like, how long can you hold it? How long can you hold it?
As far as we know, that's
That's the plan, I
That's
think.
what we heard.
Tell if you can see it in front of you and make it creative, it will happen. So who knows?
Yeah. Please say that so that the field is full when we were playing earlier than the Stones.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Obviously, no, he's not going to be coming on stage with us. But I was just talking earlier. I hope that there's more than just a handshake we get to have with the Rolling Stones, so that they can understand that we're not just honored to be on stage with them, but so that we can actually really thank them for the impact that they've had, not on just our band, but just on history in general. And not just music, also as a culture. They've brought worlds together inside of their music, and so they've demonstrated that different genres and different people can come together. Nolly was saying earlier also, to be able to thank someone like Keith Richards just for, how many times are you in a writing session where they're like, let's make it more Stonesy, like they've done so much in the history of music that it'd be nice if we could have a couple seconds to really thank them, and it's not just like a goofy little band saying thank you, thank you, thank you, like we're probably going to want to do, but it'd be nice if we could just really talk to them and just say, you guys have led the way for a lot of people like us, and it's more than appreciated, and our lives would not be the same without the Rolling Stones, nor any musician I know would it be the same without them.
Yeah,
I hope we get some time.
And to do this with both The Who and the Stones in this short time period that we have done, it's just amazing. This is, Wembley Arena for us is such an amazing place, and we end the tour with The Who there, and a few days later we go on stage with the Rolling Stones. It's pretty incredible.
How has this changed you as people?
It's made us stronger. It's empowered us. It's made us feel like life is not a dream and life is reality. And everything that you dreamt about, again, I talked about it before, you can make it come true. There's something about being a musician where you try and play so cool all the time, and you try and tell yourself it doesn't matter what anybody thinks about what I do. When The Who says they like you, and the Rolling Stones says they like you, you care about what other people have to say. It gives you, although it shouldn't, but it does. It makes you walk around with your chest higher. It allows you to feel like, okay, let's go to the next level for ourselves. It makes you feel like you're surrounded by the top of the top. Yeah. You've fallen into a circle with some people that cannot be topped.
Yeah, and it changed in so many ways, just from touring this 2 years in the way too of we get to do what we want to do every day, and not every day is great. Sometimes there's you can be grumpy or something, and you suddenly you look around and think of where you are in life, and it can usually take you out of any sadness you have. Because I've been wanting to play in a band since I was 4 or 5 years old, and I played rock and roll guitar, and here you are. It's your life, and it's pure bliss.
Another beautiful thing in that sort of swagger and validation that we talk about too is making sure that it's kind of nice because it's making sure you gotta bring your A game, you step up into it even more, and I think it's sort of it adds wind to the challenge that to challenge yourself to well we gotta deserve this and keep kind of pushing trying to push forward and push higher and get even better. And to me, I think to all of us that's a great part too. Is it's also challenging, but in a validating way ahead of it. So it's great.
You guys have always been, however, really humble, down to earth, and grateful for what you have. Is it difficult to keep a balance between playing with the wooden stance and actually still being down there grateful and close to your fan base?
I would say yeah.
We're always staying. I haven't felt any change like that. I mean, it is. I think we're a pretty grounded band, and we know it's for a fact that we would not be here if it wasn't for our amazing troublemakers and our fans that support us in everything we do, and it's so much more. And then the support we're getting is something else, and I don't think it changed us. And
It's humbling, if
Right.
anything, and if
Yeah.
anything, it probably makes you go the other way. I think we're all at a point in our lives and our careers where, we've done all that, we've seen all that, we know what that is. We're not going to make those mistakes, and if we did, we'd have 3 other guys that would call you out immediately. So I don't think that it's changed us at all. If anything, it's just made us more humble, and as Ty was saying earlier, it just makes you want to work even harder at your craft.
Yeah, and we wouldn't be here, not only the troublemakers and the fans, but our families that have, and our really close families and friends that have been there to support us, and so they also make sure to help, pull things back down. And at the end of the day, there's a long way for us to go. Not only in, we're still a baby band in so many ways. And I hope in some ways we hold on to a lot of that, if not for forever. I kind of talk about, or you think about how exciting it is to be in the cafeteria and Pete Townsend comes in, and you're just sort of kind of scratching your head like, there's Pete Townsend getting a brownie or something. And I want to be always excited about that. The Dave Grohl talked about it. I saw him on some documentary recently where he's like, he's still, kind of excited about that. And for us, I think, that even yesterday I read something where the Stones had 450 songs that they were going through for this tour and stuff like that. It makes you realize, you think, anytime you think you've got something, there's always plenty of people that can show you there's another bar and more things to keep shooting towards to try and also help you keep grinding.
And it's fun to see it grow too. When we started touring here, after Jules Holland, we toured with Brian May, and we did it in theaters. And now we kind of can do those theaters on our own. There's venues that we helped him supported with him, now we can do them on our own. And it's fun, now we're going out with The Who, and to look forward and see, maybe we can do these arenas on our own one day, and stand on our own legs. It's so cool to support these amazing bands, but you get that hunger, it'd be so amazing to be here, being just Vintage Trouble, one day, and so it gives you that hunger to just continue and make it see it grow, it's life.
I could keep talking to you guys for the rest of the evening, but I'm sure there's a lot of other people who need to talk to you, so I'm going to get you to sing now and play.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.